Pay or It Stays. That's the name of the latest investigative piece here at KCTV5. And the name behind the story is going to be Angie Raccono, who joins us here at the live desk. And Angie, let's really kind of go behind the story here.
Right.
What inspired you to do it? And explain to us what's really happening. I know that an Instagram page was put up, but what were they posting?
Well, they're posting pictures of high school kids, and actually a parent reached out to us about it and obviously was horrified, and their child was featured on this. And some of the pictures, you can see how they've added words. There's a teacher. They've added drawings to some of these things. But what they do is they take pictures that maybe you and I may send back and forth to each other, and they're normal, but then they twist them, and that's the whole thing. So maybe they're going through other people's accounts, taking their photos, reposting them, and trying to make fun of certain people. But the thing that's so creepy is you need to pay $10 for them to remove it.
And what's so interesting is $10, that's one thing,
$10.
but then also they're also posting faculty.
They're posting faculty,
just
and
students.
they're asking other students to send in photos as well. So as we were watching this account, we noticed that it appears some of the pictures were taken without someone's permission, especially on high school property, because one of them actually was a picture of someone in the bathroom, which obviously crosses, you know, the lines of decency. And I think for a lot of parents who might read about this story, this is something, you know, some people may be aware of, or some other people really haven't been aware of, that this sort of thing is taking place. We're not naming which school, we're not even naming which district, we're not naming the page, because we didn't want to give more notoriety to this group. And what's interesting is that this page, since we've started reporting on it, it has come down. But unfortunately, another similar one has popped back up, and that's the challenge for a lot of school districts is, you know, what can you control when it's after school hours?
Yeah, and this actually went up, the story, you can catch it now on our website, kctv5.com. It will be airing tonight as well on KCTV5 tonight at 10, but what's so interesting, Angie, is, you know, I had something like this when I was in high school, where cyberbullying was still a thing. It was just getting started, but there was a Twitter page, not an Instagram, but a Twitter page where if you sent in photos, they would humiliate you.
See,
and I mean, it's a terrible thing. It's not just happening here locally, but it's also happening across the country. And so I think Angie brings up a good point for parents to talk to their students and their children.
Right. And, you know, we were looking at some of the different statistics, and it's really gut-wrenching on how many kids have experienced cyberbullying and how many have experienced it, like, in the last 30 days. But one of the studies we looked at, it was like 6 to 8% of all kids that they talk to admit they're the bully.
Right.
Which, you know, it's sad. I mean, it's obviously, and they're very, very bold about it, and they think it's funny. You do see pushback on this account, which I think is impressive, from other teenagers saying, like, hey, this isn't okay, you know, take it down, you know, this is cruel. And so you do see, you know, peer-to-peer reactions saying this isn't acceptable, but it is taking place.
Yeah, and Angie, I want to ask you, what did you find to be the most surprising while doing this story? I know they put on their Instagram, DMs are kept confidential, and the $10 for a deleted post, but what did you find the most surprising? Maybe was it talking to the parents?
You know, I don't know if any of it is really surprising. I think just because, you know, we've covered this issue so much, I think the fact that they're trying to do $10 to get it down maybe is one of, you know, the most outrageous parts of all of it when it comes to this. As part of our reporting, you know, we were trying to be responsible as we did this, so we made the decision early on, don't name the account, don't name the school, don't name the school district, but we also reached out to a parent who says their daughter died because of cyberbullying, and now she runs a foundation, so we get her perspective on this too. I think sometimes teenagers think they're funny, it's not a big deal, they're trying to get clicks, they're trying to get clout, but there are real implications for people when these sort of things happen.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, we will be hearing from the mother who unfortunately lost her daughter tonight at 10. So if you want to watch the story right now, you can head over to our website. Like I mentioned, it is posted there right now on our homepage, or you can tune in tonight at 10 as well to hear from Angie. Again, Angie, you mentioned the fact that this Instagram post has been taken down, but it looks like another one is starting up now.
Right, so. And we know that a lot of people reported this page, and that's, you know, what the experts say to do. If you see something like this, if you're a victim of something like this, report it. And you just go to those three little dots, click report, and you explain why. So we're not sure if Instagram took it down or if, somebody, I don't think they had a change of heart because they popped up another one, it appears.
Right.
So it's just kind of what school districts deal with. They kind of consider it almost like a whack-a-mole situation. Even if you can get one account shut down, another one pops back up. And part of it is, schools have good authority when it's during school hours, when it's on school property, but when that ends,
It's online.
both time and that, they just really struggle to control things like this. We reached out to the district and they pointed out that kids take, digital citizenship classes, they sign these different forms, but when you have these anonymous accounts, it's really difficult for them to control it.
Yeah, it definitely is. Well, again, you can head over to our website to take a look at it right now. And also, Angie, I want to mention the fact that in your story, you also show our viewers how they can report these accounts and also block them. So that's some beneficial information for the people who didn't know that already.
Yes.
But thank you so much to our viewers for joining us for this week's Behind the Story. Again, that story will be airing at 10 tonight.